In the year 2010, the future of the Israeli economy changed. Ratio Oil Exploration, together with its partners, announced that a field of natural gas with a size of 453 billion square kilometers was found in the Mediterranean off the shores of Israel. And for the first time, Israel had the potential to export natural energy resources of this magnitude. And yesterday, it was announced that one of the world's largest natural gas fields had been found off the Egyptian coast, caused today plunge in stocks of gas companies digging in Israel. Mr. Yigal Landau, CEO of Ratio Oil Exploration, is right now here with me in the studio. Good evening. Great honor to have you here.
Good evening to you too.
Thank you very much for coming. So it wasn't a very, let's say, good day, we can say.
Not for the stockholders of the gas companies and Ratio especially. However, I don't think it's such a tragic news. I think these are some good news, and there are good aspects to this discovery.
Some people will say that it is bad news because maybe the, let's say, the peace agreement we have with Egypt is really, let's say, found on the gas resources and energy, and that maybe this is the basis for the relationship between Egypt and Israel. Maybe it's not. Maybe like...
No, I think it's after all, it's a good news because that proves a theory we have for many years that there is a great potential of gas reservoirs in the eastern part of the Mediterranean, the Middle East, which we share with Egypt and Cyprus and Israel. There are also vast potential, huge reservoirs not discovered yet in the economic waters of Israel that should be still to be discovered and exploit. Definitely the Israeli gas discoveries, especially Leviathan, in which we own, could enhance the geopolitical situation in the entire Middle East. We could supply cheap gas and available to Jordan, which right now suffers from an energy crisis, to Egypt, to the Egyptian LNG facilities for exporting gas, which right now are sitting idle with no gas. But in any event, I think this is a positive note. It indicates once again the energetic potential in the region, and it will definitely help to the entire region for stabilization and economical prosperity.
Before I will ask you to explain to me what is the big problem with the gas in Israel, because people, maybe most of us in Israel, don't understand that. But I want to go with you to the basis. From where the idea to actually go and look for gas in the sea of Israel
that's a long
came
story.
to you?
Well, we founded Ratio Oil like 22 years ago. And that happened after that for the first 40 years of Israel, since its independency, mainly government-owned companies dealt with gas exploration and oil exploration throughout the country. There were many government-owned companies, Hana, Lapidot, and others. And basically everybody failed. They had no discovery. So in the late 80s, the Israeli government, then the minister was Moshe Shachal, decided to privatize the oil and gas exploration in Israel and led the private sector to look and find gas. And approximately the early 90s, we founded Ratio. Some other companies like Isramco and Avner were founded at the same time, and we started doing our own exploration. And even for us, it was about 15 years of dry holes and no discoveries at all, until finally we obtained a permit to look for gas offshore. And soon after the discovery of Tamar, there was the discovery of the Leviathan.
Do you understand the criticism of the Israeli public towards you, that they're saying, okay, he's a private person, these are resources of all the Israelis, why should he gain more than us? Because this is ours too.
This is definitely the people's, the country's national resources. Nobody objects that. We agree with this fact. Most of the income from the gas goes to the public, goes to the government. You probably heard about the Shishinsky Accord that dictated a new tax regime for the oil and gas discoveries. 60% of the revenues from the gas will go to the public. And more than that, the majority of the companies, including my own ratio, like 80% of the stockholders are also the public, are the pension funds, the mutual funds. And so almost every citizen in Israel, whether he acknowledges it or not, is a shareholder in Leviathan.
So why we are
I think there's some
it?
misperception and disinformation, unfortunately. It became a very political debate. For instance, if the main claim against us now that we are a monopoly, and we said, hey, we are not a monopoly. It's not our fault that we were the first to discover gas. The first discovery was Tamar, the second was Leviathan. And the master plan was that more companies will come in and find more gas. So the entire monopoly issue would not then exist at all. But what happened is that there was some sort of a learning curve by government officials and regulators, and different opinions were heard, and they were changing decisions very frequently, and they created, when I say they, I mean the Israeli government and regulators and officials, they created uncertainty. And nobody wants to invest so much money under uncertainty. And the uncertainty created the fact that we will remain alone. The fact is that for the last 2 years, no one is drilling offshore Israel, and there is no drilling platform anymore. What?
Because that there is no regulation.
Because there is no stable regulation. And the stability is the main factor which we need in order to resume the success of the discoveries and finding more gas reservoirs.
I'm looking at it from, for example, my perspective. I'm a working person. I'm a citizen of Israel. I'm watching the news. I don't understand very good in gas and all these things because maybe it's too complicated for me. It is very complicated. In 10 years, can I gain from it?
A lot. Let me explain. If and when Leviathan will be developed, and this will happen only after we will invest some $7 billion doing that, and Leviathan will produce and mainly will export gas to Turkey, to Cyprus, to Jordan, even to Egypt. They need gas for exporting. The revenues will be for the public, for the Israeli government, at the aggregate of 1 billion shekel every month. If you divide it to 1.5 million families in Israel, it means 650 shekel per every family per month. Income generated only from Leviathan. Another example, it's you can compare it like 6% VAT. You could reduce the VAT in Israel from 18% to 12% and bridge the gap only from the income that could be generated from Leviathan. So every month of delay approving the development, the set of regulation to the gas industry and Leviathan especially, every month of delay, and we are now postponing like nearly 5 years since the discovery in 2010, it's a pure loss to the Israeli public.
It's your loss, and it's apparently our loss.
It's a win-win and lose-lose situation. That's right.
You summarized it the best. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you
for coming to the studio. Thank you very much.